Welcome to Old Man Sports Talk. I'm your host, Old Man Nate, and it's day one of the NBA draft. What are the Thunder going to do? So you might have seen some post that I made earlier today. Might have seen some posts that I made earlier today talking about why I think J Dub's got to go. And we've got a few minutes to talk real quick, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this over here. There we go. All right. So here's some key important dates coming up. We got the draft tonight and tomorrow. The season officially begins July 1st. Now, obviously, that's not when they start playing basketball, but that is when the season has officially begun. That's an important date because if your salary cap is above any aprons at all, then you receive penalties, and you can't go below that penalty phase until next year. So even if you lose people, brings you back under the apron, you're still being penalized for the whole year. All right. Summer League games begin, they run from July 3rd to the 19th. Preseason is in October, and then in October when the regular season starts. No. There we go. All right. The Thunder's draft picks tonight. In the first round, they have the 12th pick and the 17th pick. And then tomorrow night, they'll have the 37th pick. Teams can talk to free agents starting July, well, actually, June 30th when they start talking to them. July 6th is when they can start signing them, though. And July 1st, as I mentioned, that's when the salary, you got to be under the salary cap, which is 166 million. But the second tier, which is what really we're going to talk about tonight, is at 222 million. And we're going to projected salary cap 166 million. Teams can exceed the first apron, which 196 million. They'll face additional roster restrictions, building restrictions such as limitations on using the biannual exception, non-taxpayer, mid-level exception, or sign and trade players. Teams that exceed the luxury tax line owe a progressive tax on each dollar over that line, with rates increasing in tiers. If a team also exceeds the first apron, it will pay the luxury tax. Most teams are in this area right here, okay? Okay. Roster building restrictions, operational penalty. There's no new player signings. This is again, we're talking about the first layer, first apron. No trades involving players unless they are moving a player to another team. No free agent signings, no trades, and no signing of players who are not already on roster. Yeah, that's the first apron. Okay. Second apron. Cap is 222 million. Exceeding the NBA second apron triggers severe restrictions on trades, free agency, and draft picks, effectively functioning as a hard salary cap. Loss of exception access. Teams have the second apron above the second apron cannot use the mid-level exception like you could under the first apron, including taxpayer mid-level exceptions, and cannot absorb contracts from other teams using exceptions. In other words, you can't do a trade with someone and take, to take the money money off for them to take money off of you, or you take money off of them. Okay, this basically limits ability to sign new players beyond minimum contracts or re-sign their own players. Trade restrictions: no salary aggregation. Teams cannot combine multiple outgoing salaries to match a single incoming player's salary. In other words, you can't do two or three for one. Strict salary. In other words, basically all you can do is just a one for one trade, which ain't helping you. All right. It'll also say strict salary matching. Incoming player salaries must match outgoing salary individually with no cushion. Again, it's got to be exact. So you're not going to be able to trade for financial purposes. No use of pre-existing trades exceptions, and no cash in trades. Look at all these restrictions if you're above the second level. Draft pick penalties. If a team remains above the second apron for 3 of the last 5 seasons, its first round draft pick is moved to the bottom of the first round. This discourages long-term overspending. All right, I'm trying to hurry because we're running late. Okay, financial implications. While the second apron itself is not a direct fine, teams are already paying. That's right, they're already paying a luxury tax. Okay. Exceeding the second apron effectively locks the team into a hard cap scenario, severely limiting flexibility in trades, free agency, and roster construction. Now, why am I talking about all this? Well, right here you see it's 222 million going. The second tier is 222 million starting July 1st. Okay. I know y'all can't see this really well, but this is the Thunder's right now what they pay, and you can see that. Oh man, let me see. We get back. Okay, you can see it is at 250 million. You got to look at this middle column. This first column over here, just void that because that was this last year. Okay, so we got to look at this next one, the middle one, and we're down here at the bottom, 250 million. That's 30. What we say at 222. So that's, well, no. Oh, one more thing. Now this does have Aaron Wiggins. Aaron Wiggins is in here, which his was 9 million. Okay, so subtract 9 million from that at 250. So you're at 241 million. All right, we're basically 20 million over the salary cap. Okay, now when you start looking at these rosters, I know y'all can't really see it this well, but everything in these blue highlights, that means they have a team option. But if you also look at some of these, like right here and right here, they have also a team option next year. So these two guys are not going to be worried about this year. And that is Topich and McCain. All right. So they are not going to be worried about it. We can skip over them. Okay. Your other team, all right, we'll start at the bottom down here. We got Case and Wallace. Now, Case and Wallace, him and Lou Dort up here, both of them are on the team salary cap. You see, getting nothing next year for either one of them, or not team salary. They're team option right now. And in all honesty, we're just going to keep one of them. One of them's got to go. In my opinion, the better of the two is Case and Wallace. He's a better offensive player. He can shoot the ball better. He can create his own shot a little bit better. And his defense, they're probably 1 and 2. They both have made they made all defensive teams. Okay, so I would keep Kaysen. Now that means you're gonna let Dort walk that 18 million. Kaysen was getting 7 this year, but he's going to get a lot more. He's probably going to even make more than that 18. I've heard rumors of it being around 30, which means even though you're getting rid of Lou Dort, you're going to be gaining. See, 18 plus 7 is 25, and around there, you're still gaining 5 million on top of the salary cap. So that's 27 now. Let's just say what's what we're going up over here, and so let's say we're up to 27 million. Got to get rid of. All right. Now, Kendrick Williams they've already chose not to pick his up, but the rumor is they're going to sign him for the league minimum. And if he's willing to do that, I don't know what the league minimum is. It's probably less than this. Okay. So they'll save, let's just say they save, I don't know, it's not going to be much, 3 or 4 million. Just to be fair, we'll say 5 million. We'll say 5 million just to bring that Case of Wallace back down. So we're at 22 million. Next up, we got the only one left is iHeart. He's getting 28 million. I think he's probably going to get around 30 million. So again, you're not losing no money. Now, who could you trade to get rid of that 22 million? You don't want to trade too many guys. We already lost Aaron Wiggins. If you lose Isaiah Joe, it's only 11 million. All right. Who else could you trade? You're not going to trade Shea. Caruso, I don't believe is up for discussion with trade. He's getting 19 million. Okay. We'll come back to Chet. This is Jay Will. You could trade him, but I really think he showed he's valuable. I don't think they trade him. The reason Aaron Wiggins was not as valuable is because you got other players that play just like him. You don't have another player that plays like Jay will. Okay. J Dub will come back to him. And Sorber, you haven't got to see him play yet. But again, these are low salary people. Look at AJ Mitchell's only getting $2 million next year. AJ Mitchell's only getting paid $2 million next year. He was probably our second best player this year, behind obviously Shea. Okay, J-Dub didn't play enough this year where you can throw him in there. He only played 30 games this whole season. So, Jared McCain played really good when we didn't have to trade deadline, so he's probably mentioned in top 5 players. Anyhow, so now we're going back up to your J-Dub and Chet. You see both. That's why our salary cap is so high. We're adding $41 million each to our salary. That's why we're so high. Now, on top of paying these players, you're gonna right now we got 2 draft picks I just told you about. So we are gonna add. Actually, we gotta have 3, but I'll talk about the second round first. The second round pick, he doesn't have to be on your roster, so you can use him and you can use him a couple ways. You can put him on the G League team with OKC Blue. You can send him overseas if you wanted to, or you can also put him on a 2-way contract. All 3 of those ways do not you don't like these right here. These 2 guys right here. That's why you don't see no money by them. They're 2-way guys. So you can put them on one of those contracts and it won't count against your salary cap. But your first round guys, they got to be on your roster. They got to be over here. These guys getting paid. So we got 2 draft picks this year in the first round. Even if you do trade a couple of these guys, like we talked about, Isaiah Joe, 11 million, those draft picks are picking that salary back up. So you're not gaining anything. So I really think tonight you're going to see some stuff moved around. And like I said, we have the 12th and 17th pick tonight. I think you're going to see Sam Presti come in, and just now the Washington Wizards are on the clock for the first pick, and I think you might see a trade. I don't know. I mean, they haven't announced it yet, so it's probably not going to happen. But what I would have done if I was Sam Presti, I would have put a trade together with our 12th and 17th pick for the Wizards' number 1 overall pick, and I also would have thrown in one of these players. And the player I would have thrown in would have been J-Dub and not Chet. I know everybody wants Chet gone, but Chet had an all defensive team. He played the whole season. He had an all defensive team. Made an all-star team. Made an all NBA defensive team. He had one bad game in NBA Western Conference Finals, and everybody want to get rid of him. But at the same time, J-Dub was hurt all season. And we've seen how good of a team we still are without him. We don't know how good of a team we are without Chet, especially playing against teams like Wemby. Now, could J-Dub help? Hell yeah. But we can't afford all of that. So I do think that you're going to see J-Dub, maybe Chet, but mostly J-Dub. I think you're going to be seen throwing a package. And again, here's the thing: if you throw in J-Dub and the 3 picks, the 2 first rounds and the second rounder for tomorrow night, to get the number 1 overall pick, who do you draft? You draft AJ Dabansa from BYU. That's who you draft because he's the exact same type of player as J-Dub is. So you're replacing J-Dub with a very similar player, and instead of paying him $41 million a year, you're probably going to pay him no more than $15 million a year for the next 3 or 4 years. So it keeps us. And by the way, you look at these other salaries, you see it goes back up after next year, or drop back down, but you still got, look at all these salaries you got to fill in. So they're going to be resigned. People are going to resign this year, and then it keeps going. Look at all the money Shea getting. Shea getting 40. Actually, Chet and J-Dub are getting paid more than Shea this year. Shea's only getting 40 million. They're getting 41. But after that, Shea gets 61. They get 44. Shea getting 65. They getting 40, was it 48, 46, 48, something like that. So it just keeps going up. You're not getting any better. So one of these guys have got to go, man. They've got to go. We'll see what happens. It may not happen on his first pick, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if they do make, and listen, if he doesn't trade J-Dub, maybe they make a trade up to 2 or 3 to get Boozer. Boozer is similar to Chet. Okay, he can shoot outside. He's a post player. His position's considered forward/center. He could put a body on Wemby, and he's quick enough to probably keep up with him. So I could see him trying to get Boozer also. But don't be on the lookout for one of these guys to move, Chet or J-Dub, with the trade tonight. We'll see what happens. We will see. Anybody else? Anybody got any thoughts? Any comments? And man, and the Wizards have the money. I'm talking about, like, even with resigning Trae Young, they're planning to resign Trae Young, and they're only giving him like $2 or $3 more million a year. It ain't like they're resigning him for an extra $10 million a year. No, they're only adding $2 to $3 million to his contract, and they are plenty. They have plenty of cap space to where they could re-sign Trae Young, and they can pick up J-Dub's contract. So again, that would be an ideal spot, man. That'd be an ideal. Now, do the Wizards want to do that? I mean, I would. You're getting an all-star to add to your, with 2 other all-stars you got on your team. That's 3 all-stars you have on your team, and you get 2 more first round picks this year, and a second round this year. Now I know some of y'all thinking, why would the Thunder give their traded picks away? One, I got plenty of them stashed away, and 2, again, because they can't afford. Somebody's got to go from the roster. 2 people got to go, and whoever, there's nobody on their roster they'd be willing to get rid of, to like just walk. Other than, now, like I said, Lou Dort they're gonna let walk. That frees up $18 million, but that's one roster spot. You need somebody else got to go too. Now, there's a lot of rumor about who's gonna be the number one pick over tonight. So if the trade don't happen like I want it to happen, who was going to be the number one pick overall? Um, who the Wizards are going to take is going to be AJ or Peterson from Kansas. Rumor has it that Peterson only worked out for the Wizards. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't even know who the Thunder worked out, to be honest with you. Um, that the Thunder is so hush hush when it comes to draft trades, anything like that. They try to keep everything tight lipped. They don't want nothing out. So people that they work out, it's very rare that we hear anything about that. All right, the pick is in. Let's see who getting their name called first to walk across the stage. Now, before we even get started, I think the best player in this draft is probably going to get drafted probably about 6 or 7, and that's Acuff. But he's the best offensive player. I'll put it that way. Best offensive player in the NBA draft this year. But his defense is not very good. Like the Thunder would not. For one, there's about 2 or 3 reasons why they wouldn't pick him. Number one, he's a guard. He's a point guard. We're good at guard. We're looking at forwards and centers for our draft. And second, he don't play defense. Now he could be top defense, but all right, here we go. So AJ was the first player picked. Now I will say this. I will say the way the NBA works. The NBA is different than the NFL. The NFL, if there was a trade done, then they would have announced it right then and allow the team to select the player. Okay, like the commissioner would have come out right then and said, "We got a trade, and whoever they made the trade with is on the clock." All right, and they would get a new clock. The NBA is different. The NBA goes ahead and selects the players, and then it's possible then the trade then it'll be leaked that there's been a trade, and then that whoever they made the trade with will select those players for them, and then then it'll be announced. Oh, we got trade. So it'll be a trade. Um, so the players when they walk up, this is something we talked about on the radio today. The players when they walk up, they'll actually put on a hat for a team. They know they ain't, or they may not know it, but the teams know they ain't even going there. So instead of the Thunder draft, instead of putting the Thunder hat on, the Thunder was in a trade. They put the Thunder hat on if they were drafting them for them, but they're actually going somewhere else, or vice versa. So it's still possible that the trade that I want could have happened, but we won't know right now. So we'll see. I hope I'm right though. I really do. So that means let's see who is on the clock. I need to pull up over here because they're not doing a good job of. Okay, here it is. Utah. No, yeah, Utah. Utah's on the clock. Then the third is Memphis, and the fourth is Chicago. So Uh, so, anybody, anybody got any comments on if the Wizards made the right choice, pick number one with their pick? All right. There we go. Let me see if I. There we go. All right, here the pick is in. Let's see who the second pick is. Again, rumor has it is Peterson only worked out for the Wizards, and they didn't pick him. So nobody else really got to look at him in person, unless you went to a game over in Kansas. Here's a player also had a bad reputation of not playing in games he could have played in at Kansas. He sat out a lot of games, more than most people who aren't seriously injured sit out. So he came out after the season, said it was some creatine he was taking. They ended up getting it fixed, and that's why down the stretch he played in so many games. But I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. I know a lot of people thought he was just basically um, monitoring his games, monitoring his body, because he knew he was going to be going to the draft. So again, I don't know what the truth is there, but hopefully hopefully it was the creatine. And the Utah Jazz do select Darren Peterson as the second pick. Obviously he's happy he's been drafted, but he's probably a little disappointed he's going to Utah and the Wizards didn't take him because again he didn't work out for him. But hey, his dream of playing in the NBA though is true now. It's a reality. I don't know where he's originally from. I know he played college ball at Kansas. Played for Bill Self. His dad's crying, boy. He's happy. I don't blame him. I'd be happy too. He was a very very athletic player. Could shoot. Um, Again, his only knock on him was he didn't play. He didn't play as many games the rest of the freshmen played this season. He didn't put his body out there like everybody else. There's a lot of freshmen being drafted. Number one pick was a freshman. So we will see. Memphis is on the clock now. We'll see who they get. Memphis on the clock. They're expected to pick Carlos Boozer, or not Carlos Boozer, but Boozer, bigger Boozer. There's two Boozers brothers, twins, and one of them, only one of them's in the draft. The littler, I call them little because there's definitely a size difference in the two. They're not the same height, and the littler Boozer is not in the draft this year. He'll be back at Duke. The bigger Boozer though is expected to be the next draft pick. We'll see if that does happen though. Cameron Boozer, that's his name. Yeah, Cameron Boozer is the projected next pick, and the Grizzlies do have the pick in. We'll be getting it here in just a minute. There's Cameron sitting right next to his dad, Carlos, who played in the NBA for several years. All right, here comes the pick. There he is. He was not. He went number 3. Cameron Boozer, number 3 overall pick out of Duke, heading to Memphis. I like Cameron a lot, so that was a great pickup for Memphis. He can he can play inside or outside, so you can play him and Edie at the same time if need to. Next up is the Chicago Bulls, and they've already got their pick in, so they're quick about it. They ain't even got a chance to interview Cameron. They do a little player interview after they're drafted. We have to hurry, speed things up because they ready. Chicago ready to announce their pick. They're still talking to Cameron and his family. Uh, all right, interview's finally over. Hopefully, we get to see the Bulls pick here really quick. They're showing the the Bulls war room. They call them war rooms. They got everybody in there together and help decide who the pick's going to be. And here it is. They select Caleb Wilson out of North Carolina. His season was cut short with an injury. Otherwise, there's no telling how far North Carolina would have did this year. Did they make the tournament? I don't even know if they made the tournament. He's going to be a Bull. Which, by the way, that's where Carlos Boozer, who's the father of Cameron Boozer, that's where he played. That's who I believe who drafted him was the Chicago Bulls. So it's almost one pick away from going to where his dad. Cameron was almost one pick away going where his dad played. So next on the clock, who is that? The Clippers. The Clippers on the clock. Then Brooklyn, and then Sacramento. These first four picks were pretty much how everybody had selected, unless there's some trades made, right? So top five picks from North Carolina: Antoine Jamison, Vince Carter, Marvin Williams, Raymond Felton, and Caleb Wilson. Oh, it says in the last 30 seasons. So that would have been, Michael Jordan was drafted more than 30 years ago. But anyway, back to what I was saying, these first four picks pretty much went how everyone anticipated. I think that the rest of this draft, though, is up for grabs. Damn, that person's all in the camera. Clippers taking their time. Dang, Clippers got a watch party outside. It's outside. Now the clock ran out. I don't know what happened. Okay, looks like the pick is in. So far, every player picked has been a freshman. No foreign players, no sophomores, juniors, or seniors. And another thing that's different about the NBA draft and the NFL draft is a lot of times the NFL players will get phone calls from the teams letting them know they're about to select them. They don't do that in the NBA. You just wait till your name called, no phone call, no nothing. So anytime they say the picks in, every player getting a little anxious. Here we go. Here's the Clippers pick. They selected Keaton Wagler from Illinois. Interesting fact about this kid, Wagler. He was not a high star, he was like a 3-star guy. Nobody really knew about him. And then he comes into Illinois, and he wasn't even expected to really even compete for a playing time, let alone a starting position. And yeah, he was an unranked prospect coming out of high school. And, you know, again, he wasn't even expected to uh, compete for playing time, let alone a starting position. And he just, his game was a lot better than people thought it was. And his knowledge was a lot better. He played point guard as big as he is. He's like 6'6", 6'8", something like that. And he ended up, now now he's being drafted. So a year ago, they weren't even thinking about NBA draft, and here he is. Had a great year, great freshman year at Illinois, and played in the Big Ten. Had a great season with Illinois. Illinois had a great season, and yeah. Matter of fact, I don't even think he had a dunk this year. But he can score. Mm-hmm. Dang. Right, he had three. Oh, these are okay. Three different people. He had 46 points at Purdue, 13 of 17. AJ, number one pick overall, had 43 against Utah, 15 of 24. And Kingston Flemings out of Houston at Texas Tech had 42. Yeah, I think that's another. Flemings is another offensive, big time scorer. Yeah, I got to watch him a few times this year. He's a heck of a player. Like I said, nobody knew who he was coming out of high school. So, and what a difference a year can make, man. So, um, let's say best available for J.E. Bilas, best available right now. Acuff from Arkansas, Flemings from Houston, Braden Berries from Arizona, Mike Brown from Louisville, and Mara from Michigan. And Brooklyn's already got their pick in, so should be hearing that here in just a second. Brooklyn is happy with their pick. Let's see who it is. Here comes here comes the commissioner with the pick. Ooh, ooh, little shakeup. I told you, I told you, the fifth pick on, it could be anybody. Everybody thought it'd be Acuff, including myself. I really thought it'd be Acuff going to Brooklyn, but instead it's Mikael Brown Jr. from Louisville. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not even sure I seen him play this year. I watched Louisville, but I do not remember. I do not remember seeing him at all. Maybe I see some highlights. I don't know, but yeah. He had 45 against North Carolina State, so he can fill it up. I do like his suit though. It's put together very well. He's 6'3". All right, so Brooklyn got Mikael Brown Jr. Next up is the Sacramento Kings. I think for sure the Kings get Acuff. He will light it up over there with the Kings. Um, the pick is in now. Let's see. So you got the Kings, the Hawks, and then the Mavericks. Next three picks. Those are the last three. Well, four picks remaining in the top 10. Kings, Hawks, Mavericks. And there he goes. Acuff is going to Sacramento. That's a great pickup for the Kings. Great pickup. He's gonna be an all-star out there with Sacramento. He put the Sooners out of the SEC tournament. He did it by himself too, man. He's legit. He is legit. Like I say, I think he's the best offensive player in the draft. Got him listed as 6'2". He's a short 6'2". Okay, he may be 6 foot. I put him closer to 6 foot 6'1" while watching him play. But he can play, man. That dude can get it. Players to lead SEC in points per game and assists per game. Pistol Pete in 1969 and 70, 44.5 points, 6.2 assists. And Darius Acuff at 23.5 points and 6.4 assists. Tell you what, Pistol Pete's a good name to be mentioned with. All right, so the next three for rounding out the top 10, you have the Hawks, the Mavericks, and then the Bucks. The Hawks, the Mavericks, and then the Bucks. And I think the Hawks pick is in. They're going to take a commercial break real quick. But yeah, the Hawks, the Mavericks, and then the Bucks. I'll give you some major league scores real quick while we're in commercial. Baseball scores. In the ninth, the Royals are up on the Rays 11-2. The seventh, the Yankees are up on the Tigers 4-3. In the eighth, the Mariners are up on the Pirates 3-2. In the seventh, the Marlins are up on the Rangers 6-1. In the eighth, the Nationals are up on the Phillies 5-3, but the Phillies have the bases loaded with 2 outs. In the fourth, the Cubs are up on the Mets 7-2. In the seventh, the Brewers are up on the Reds 1-0. In the sixth, the Guardians and White Sox are tied at 1. In the third, the Dodgers and Twins are tied at 1. In the fifth, the Diamondbacks and Cardinals are scoreless. And in the first, the Red Sox are up on the Rockies 1-0. In about 40 minutes, the Orioles and Angels will start. Braves and Padres will start. Athletics and Giants will start. Already completed today in 11 innings, the Astros beat the Blue Jays 9-7. Let's see if we can find any World Cup scores. All right. So going on right now, Portugal just beat Uzbekistan 5-0. England and Ghana played to a 0-0 game. I ain't gonna lie, that's why I don't like soccer, man. How you run around for 90 minutes plus and nobody score, and then you end the game in a tie? That'd be pissing me off, man. I did all that running for nothing. Croatia beat Panama 1-0, and Colombia and the Congo Dominican Republic will play here in about an hour. Tomorrow's game will be Bosnia against Qatar, Switzerland against Canada. By the way, the Bosnia, Qatar at 2, Switzerland, Canada also at 2, Morocco and Haiti at 5, Scotland and Brazil also at 5, Czech against Mexico at 8, and South Africa against South Korea also at 8. Thursday, you have Morocco against Ivory Coast. Oh, we got a draft to pick in. So the Hawks select guard Kingston Flemings. from Houston. All right, back to the soccer. Ecuador will play Germany Thursday at 3. Japan will play Sweden Thursday at 6. Tunisia and Netherlands will play at 6. Paraguay and Australia will play at 9. And then Turkey and United States will also play at 9. Friday, Norway and France will play at 2. Senegal and Iraq will play at 2. Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia will play at 7. Uruguay and Spain will also play at 7. Egypt and Iran will play at 10. And New Zealand and Belgium will also play at 10. Saturday at 4, you have Croatia and Ghana, and also Panama and England. At 6:30, you have Colombia against Portugal, and also Congo, Dominican Republic against Uzbekistan. At 9, Algeria and Austria, and then Jordan and Argentina. And that Sunday we'll wrap up the group play, and I'm sorry, on Saturday they'll wrap up the group play, and on Sunday they will start bracket play. Okay, so get over here back to the draft. Again, eighth pick to the Atlanta Hawks went to Kingston Flemings out of Houston. The Mavericks are on the clock, and with their new Mavericks just announcing their new head coach is going to be Dusty May, the head coach, now a former head coach for Michigan, after leading the Wolverines to the national title. He's now going to try to attempt to win the NBA title with the Dallas Mavericks. Last year's number one overall pick was Cooper Flagg, and now they got the ninth pick in the draft. I expect him to pick one of those Michigan Wolverines. There's 3 projected to get in the first round: Johnson, Mara, and Axel. Let's call him Axel. So I think I think they'll probably go get Mara, but we'll see. The pick is in. We're just waiting to get done with the interview, which they just wrapped up. So we will see. There he is, Dusty May, now the Mavericks head coach. Yeah, they're just talking about on TV what I just told you guys, that with him being the head coach, possibility he would pick one of his players in the draft. I definitely think that's going to happen. And you got Cooper Flagg, Kyrie Irving, Max Christie. You got good guard play, good ball handlers. You just need big men. You need a big man. Here he comes. Morez Johnson Jr. So they get him a forward. One of the Michigan guys. I told you he was going to bring somebody with him. Trying to see his size. They're not mentioning how. They will here in a minute. See how big he is. Got him listed as a forward. There we go. He's 6'9", 251. Okay. All right. So we got one more left in the top 10. It's the Milwaukee Bucks. I think their pick is in already too, but they're taking so long to get these interviews in. Like for real, I don't. This should not be taking this long. We're almost to the Thunder. The next three are Milwaukee, Golden State, and Oklahoma City. So I tell you what, if the Thunder's able to get Mara, they may not pick up Hartenstein's contract. They may not. Even though, here's the thing though, our pick last year was Sorber out of uh, out of Georgetown. He didn't even get to play last year because he tore his ACL somewhere between summer ball, or no, between the draft and summer ball. So then, yeah, he didn't get to play no summer ball. He didn't do nothing. So we haven't even seen that guy on the court. And when they did draft him anyway, he was recovering from a foot injury. So uh, if you go get Mara, if you do get Mara, yeah, Mara's listed as 7'3". Okay, if you get Mara, that's another big man. But you don't. I mean, we don't know if he's as physical as he. I don't think he has the footwork to keep up with people like Wemby. I'll put it that way. Okay, so you're still going to need big people for Wemby, which we got some people. We got him different ways. Ihart though was the guy. He was quick enough with his footwork, put a body on him. So yeah, Mara's footwork maybe he may be quick enough. I don't know. Yaxel Lindenborg. So 10, 11, and 12. There was a lot of talk about Sam Presti trying to trade into the top 10. Well, here comes the last 10, the 10th pick right here. Remember the Bucks trade last night. They traded their all-star Giannis to the Heat. Mm. Man, they taking too long. The pick's in. I don't know where the draft is at. I think it's in New York, but I'm not 100% sure on that. All right, here we go. Here comes the commish with the pick. Braden Burries, guard from Arizona. Mm. All right, so that's the top 10. Let's review the top 10 real quick. So, number one overall pick for the Washington Wizards out of BYU was AJ DeBonsa. Number two, the number two pick for the Utah Jazz out of Kansas was Darren Peterson. The third pick for the Memphis Grizzlies out of Duke was Cameron Boozer. The fourth pick for the Chicago Bulls out of North Carolina was Caleb Wilson. The fifth pick for the Los Angeles Clippers out of Illinois was Keaton Wagler. The sixth pick for the Brooklyn Nets out of Louisville was Mikael Brown Jr. The seventh pick for the Sacramento Kings out of Arkansas was Darius Acuff Jr. The eighth pick for the Atlanta Hawks out of Houston was Kingston Flemings. The ninth pick for the Dallas Mavericks out of Michigan, Morez Johnson Jr. And the 10th pick for the Milwaukee Bucks out of Arizona, Braden Burries. So the next on the clock right now is Golden State. And then you got the Oklahoma City Thunder, Miami Heat, Charlotte Hornets, Chicago Bulls with another pick in this round, Memphis Grizzlies with another pick in this round, Oklahoma City Thunder with another pick in this round, Charlotte Hornets with another pick in this round, and then Toronto pick 19, San Antonio pick 20. Detroit 21, 76ers 22, the Hawks with another pick in this round, the Knicks at pick 24, the Lakers at pick 25, Denver Nuggets at pick 26, the Boston Celtics at pick 27, the Timberwolves at pick 28, Cleveland at pick 29, and the Dallas Mavericks will finish that first round at pick 30. Man, they're taking a long time with these interviews, man. It takes forever. Telling you, those interviews, I mean, I get it. It's their moment, the player's moment. I get it. It's a big deal to them. But if it wasn't for that, this draft would not take so long. You could probably take an hour and a half off the time just with these interviews. You got to bring the. Here's the thing. It's one thing to interview the kid, and I get it's a big moment for the parents too. I get that, but you could move around, like do an interview real quick when they first come off the player, then go somewhere else and have the parents, and then if you get time to show that, fine. Otherwise, just keep the draft moving. I mean, because you get like 5 minutes between draft picks, but it's taken longer than that for them to longer than the 5 minutes to announce the pick because because they're doing all these dang interviews. Let's see. Golden State might pick Mara. There's a lot of rumors that Oklahoma City's looking at Yaxel Lindenborg. But I'm telling you, if Mara's available, they may switch that up and take him. The only way Lindenborg's kind of like a J Will. I don't think he's much of a slasher as J Will is. I mean J Dub. I'm sorry. So again, if they're wanting to, if they're trying to trade, like I talked about, to get rid of this cap room, if they're not getting AJ in return, this is another guy you'd like. Yeah, Axel's a guy that you would like. Axel Lindenborg is a guy you would like. Man, they're taking a long time. I think there's some trades going on. Trades, that's what's going on. It's what's taking so long. And then you got to get the pick from that. Because again, unlike the NFL, uh, you don't just give them the pick now and they make their own pick. They'll tell you who you pick, and you got to make that pick. So once the trade is decided, especially if it's for a pick right now, then the teams they have to decide who to pick. And the pick is in finally. And here comes the commish. They got him. Yaxel Lindenborg is going to Golden State. That's the second Michigan player picked. I'm telling you right now, if the Thunder's going to get Mara. That's who they're going to pick. Well, all right, the Thunder's on the clock. The first of our first round picks. And our pick is in. Let's wait for the. The Thunder's pick is in, but they're still doing the interview. All right. Now we'll see if it's going to be back-to-back Michigan players. And the third one in the top 12. They should be announcing the Thunder's pick here any second. All right, here comes the pick for the Thunder. They did. Back-to-back picks for Michigan as the Thunder pick Adai Mara. 7'3". That's the third pick in the top 12 out of Michigan. He's from Spain. I knew he was a foreign kid. I didn't remember where he's from. 7'3" with no shoes on. He's a legit 7'3". So that's, if they keep Ihart, that would be 3 7-foot guys the Thunder would have at Ihart, Chet, and now Mara. But I got a feeling that means Ihart is going to be not re-signed, which would free up 30 million, 28 million actually from what we talked about. But then you got to turn around and use some of that 28 million, and it might be enough to cover. That might be enough. Um, he's a 12th pick. Yeah, the 12th pick. Got to think he's probably going to get about 6 million this first year. So that would cut it pretty close. And then again, if they re-signed Kenrich Williams to the minimum, then that might be just enough to move us under the apron. Now again, it depends how much they sign Case and Wallace. Okay, I forgot about that. All right, because that was gonna, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much they sign these guys for. Thunder's got another pick coming up here in a minute, though. All right, so next few picks are the Heat, Hornets, Bulls, Grizzlies, and then Thunder. That's next one, two, three. That's next five. See if we get updates with scores. Yankees are up 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth. Rangers are up, or Marlins are up 6-4 at the top of the ninth. Phillies are up on the Nationals now 11-8 at the top of the ninth. Cubs are on top of the Mets 7-2, bottom of the sixth. The Brewers are up on the Reds 2-0 after eight. The White Sox are up on the Guardians 2-1, top of the eighth. The Dodgers are up on the Twins 5-2, the bottom of the fourth. Diamondbacks and Cardinals are still scoreless in the bottom of the seventh. Red Sox are up on the Rockies 2-1, the top of the third. And then in about 10 minutes, you're going to have the Orioles and Angels start, the Braves and Padres, then the A's and Giants. Finals for today: in 11 innings, the Astros beat the Blue Jays 9-7. The Royals beat the Rays 12-5, and the Mariners beat the Pirates 3-2. All right, so I'm going to look at the salary cap for the Thunder really quick, make it better. So 250 million is what we're projected to pay. Now remember, we got to get below 222. Actually, the 250, but that does include Aaron Wiggins at 9 million. All right, so we're looking at 241. All right, so we got to get another, well, basically another 20 million off. Okay. Um, well, if they if they don't sign Isaiah Hartenstein, that would remove 28 million. Okay, and that would take you eight below what you're projected to pay. But all right, so first of all, let me do this. Kaysen, Wallace, and Lou Dort. I think we're gonna let Lou Dort walk. Okay, so Kaysen and Lou Dort together made 25 million. Okay, so if you pay Kaysen Wallace 25 million or less, then that would be, that would work out as an even thing right there. Okay. And then iHeart 28 million then would take you below it by 8 million, but you got to sign two players. Okay. Mara is going to make, well, let's look at, so this year, Chet made 13 million. Chet was the number two player overall. J Dub made about 6 million, and he was like the 15th pick. Okay, so and things go up a little bit. So let's just look around, look at him. Let's just say um, that Mara's going to make around 8 million. Okay, that makes that about even, but you still got to get enough roster for your 17th pick. Okay, got to make enough room for that, which is where you could see Isaiah Joe. I mean, that's 11 million. Gives you some cap room right there, an extra 3 million in cap. Plus, um, Kenrich Williams, I was told they waived his team option and they're looking to re-sign him for less. but I don't know. There is some room there where we don't have to get rid of J Dub now. And the Heat select Nate Ament from Tennessee, and he's going to play with Giannis and Bam Bam. Right out of Tennessee, I got to see him play. He's pretty good kid, pretty good player. Got to put some meat on him though. Got to put some weight on him. We'll probably cut this show off after the Thunder's second pick. We've already been on here for almost 2 hours, so I think there's a time. Yeah, yeah, hour and 45 minutes. So we've been on. So we'll probably cut this off after the Thunder's second pick, which they've got 4 more picks until then. He'll get to handle the ball a lot at Miami. With the trade last night, they gave up Tyler Hero, Jamie Yaquez, and Kasparis. Yeah, I don't even want to say his name. They gave up a lot of guards, so a lot of ball handlers for Miami. So he'll get the ball. He'll get to handle the ball. Next up, in fact, the pick's already in, is the Charlotte Hornets. Oh man, excuse me. Excuse me. All right, the Hornets pick is in. We're waiting on the commission come out. This guy right here is no longer a Thunder player. Sorry, Wig, miss you. Wow. All right, the Hornets pick Giannis Steinbach, and also I guess I didn't realize that, but part of that trade that was made for Giannis to Miami was um, Amont was the draft pick given to Milwaukee. So maybe he's not going to get the ball as much as we thought because he's going with all those other players from Miami. Hannes Steinbach from Washington. I don't think this guy was on anybody's radar to be picked right now. I don't think so. All right, so let's do some scores real quick. The Phillies are up 14-8 now over the Nationals in the bottom of the ninth. The Cubs are up over the Mets 7-2 in the top of the seventh. The Brewers just beat the Reds 2-0. The White Sox are up on the Guardians 2-1 going into the ninth inning. The Dodgers are up on the Twins 5-2 in the bottom of the fifth. The Diamondbacks and Cardinals are still scoreless in the top of the eighth. The Red Sox are up on the Rockies 2-1 in the bottom of the third. And just started is Orioles and Angels is still on the top of the first. And Braves and Padres are still on top of the first. And then the last game to start for the night, the A's and the Giants will start here in about 3 minutes. Finals for today in 11 innings, the Astros beat the Blue Jays 9-7. The Royals beat the Rays 12-5. The Yankees beat the Tigers 4-3. The Mariners beat the Pirates 3-2. The Marlins beat the Rangers 6-4. And like I already mentioned, the Brewers beat the Reds 2-0. Next best available for ESPN. I don't know if there's. I don't see a name here. Kareem Lopez out of Mexico. Um, First of all, on the clock is the Chicago Bulls, and ESPN is saying the best available is Kareem Lopez out of Mexico, and the best fit though is Christian Anderson out of Texas Tech. He's got to be a guard. He's 6'3", 178. Yeah, we're just gonna do three more picks: the Bulls, the Grizzlies, and the Thunder, and we will sign off for the night. The Bulls pick is in, but they're going to commercial, and I'm telling you, this is painful to watch the NBA draft. It's very painful. They need they need to take some notes from the NFL draft. Now they broke it up into two nights. It's usually just been one night. They broke it up into two. First round one night, second round the other night. But this is painful. Man, just so everyone's clear, we've been on this. The draft started an hour and 45 minutes ago, and we're not even halfway through the first round. We're almost halfway through the first round. The next pick will make it halfway, but still, this is embarrassing. This no draft should not take this long. All right, so the Bulls picked Dalen Swain from University of Texas. Just two more picks, and then we're gonna log off. We got the Grizzlies, then the Thunder's last pick of the for tonight. Swain was last year's SEC Newcomer of the Year as he came over with his coach Miller from Xavier to Texas. Six and a half, 211 pounds. All right, Grizzlies are on the clock. They got about 2.5 minutes to get their pick in. And as far as who the Thunder would pick, I don't know. I think you still go big. You're guard heavy. So, um, I mean, you got Shea, you got McCain, you got AJ Mitchell, you got Caruso, you got Cason Wallace. That's, yeah, you've got plenty of guards. You got Topic, who I think is going to get more playing time now. He's had a lot of health issues. Heck, when they drafted him, he was coming off a torn ACL, and they knew he was going to miss the first year. And then he was diagnosed with cancer. They didn't even think he was going to play at all last year, but he did. He came back and played. So big ups to him. And I just found out either today or yesterday, he actually had spine surgery. Now, what that consisted of, I don't know. Like I said, I just heard about it. So hopefully he can heal from that and be able to play this year. If so, I expect him to get more playing time. Man, the pick is in. So let's see what they do. Who they pick. All right. Man, I'm telling you what, these interviews are killing the damn NBA draft, man. They are killing it. They've been waiting for you to shut up so they could announce it. Come on, Kamish. They finally got off. There we go. All right. So the Grizzlies select Bennett Sturts, guard from Iowa. So who did the Grizzlies pick earlier? Oh, the Grizzlies picked Cam Boozer, and now they picked Bennett Sturts. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know nothing about this guy. Yep. I don't know nothing about him. But obviously, I mean, he was projected to be picked pretty high because he's at the dang draft in a suit, sitting, got a table for him. Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Yeah. So we'll listen to who the Thunder. I don't have no idea the Thunder are going to pick. I don't think they'll pick a guard though. I'll tell you that right now. I don't think they'll pick a guard. Uh, I think they'll pick another big man. Another big man. Oh, okay. I wonder. So Iowa ended up. Yeah, Iowa hired Drake's coach from them, and Iowa had a nice run this year. I think, and it looks like that this is the kid that came with them. So Iowa did have a kid that, yeah, he was pretty good. It might be him right there. I forgot. I forgot about that. We'll see though. Let's take a look at some more baseball scores real quick before we log off. We got Thunder pick to do, and then we'll get done. So Cubs are beating the Mets 7-3 in the bottom of the seventh. The Dodgers are up on the Twins 6-2 in the bottom of the sixth. Diamondbacks and Cardinals have made it all the way to the ninth inning without anybody scoring. Red Sox are up on the Rockies 2-1 after four. The Angels are up on the Orioles 2-0 in the bottom of the first. The Braves and Padres are scoreless in the second, and the A's and Giants are scoreless in the bottom of the first. So all the games are now officially started. Again, finals for today. In 11, the Astros beat the Blue Jays 9-7. The Royals beat the Rays 12-5. The Yankees beat the Tigers 4-3. The Mariners beat the Pirates 3-2. The Marlins beat the Rangers 6-4. The Phillies beat the Nationals 14-9. The Brewers beat the Reds 2-0. And the White Sox beat the Guardians 2-1. Ooh. All right, the Thunder's pick is in. We'll see who they get here. Well, ESPN thinks that the Thunder are going to pick a guard. I don't know. I think I'm a guard heavy. Abuko Okori. We did pick a guard from Stanford. I think Mike Miller must be an agent now. It's the second player I've seen him shake hands with. The first one I thought it was because it was a player that was drafted to Miami. Mike Miller used to play for Miami, so that's why I thought it was. But he must be an agent now. Yeah, he's only 6'1". Well, we'll see if there's any trades. Been on over 2 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off. The Thunder picks are in. Again, we got Amara or Mara, Ada Mara from Michigan. And then we just drafted Ibuka Okore from Stanford. But he's been traded already. Okay. So, wow, I don't know why they do this. So, Memphis and Oklahoma City traded picks. So that Bennett Sturts, the guard from Iowa, is who the Thunder are getting. He's 6'4". He's a little bit bigger. I like that. I like that. So, Vermont will trade to Milwaukee. And that's the only trade so far announced. So, anyways, we'll see. We'll see what Sam Presti's got in mind to get under that salary cap. I'll do some more research. Of course, I won't have tonight's draft picks. You don't know how much they're going to get paid. I'll do some more research. He may have made it under, and if so, that'd be a great thing, right? That way, J-Dub can stay around. But anyways, I appreciate y'all. Follow along. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and follow. That way, you get notified every single time Old Man Nate goes live or drops a video. We'll see you right here next time on Old Man Sports Talk.